Right. And there was all kinds of stuff, and it's like, so we made a Missy.
That's right.
And you know, their family backgrounds, and one of them had a sister, in my memory.
Well, Ted had a brother, Dan.
Right.
An older brother who was a complete pseudo-intellectual.
Right. Who was like,
fraud.
had been kicked out of the house.
Right.
By Dad, but said he was like,
away at college.
I said he was away at college, but he was just like living in his car somewhere, writing letters back to Ted, and like lame pseudo-intellectual ideas.
And Dan was a stoner. Bill and Ted were never stoners.
No.
I think Dan was kind of a stoner.
I think so. Yeah. But Dan sort of withered pretty fast.
Dan withered, yeah.
And then within a few months, because I went to grad school down in San Diego, and so then we just start like talking on the phone.
That's right,
guys. How did we come up with that voice?
The conscious reference to the voice. It was not valley talk, and it was not stoner talk, and it was not surfer talk.
Oh.
It was not sort of even. It wasn't even supposed to be like quote California speak.
Yeah.
It was this sort of weird, self-contained, Damon Runyon-esque dialogue where people used words that they didn't entirely understand.
I always thought the voice was kind of like, it was just sort of this weird kind of open quality to it. Like, wow, yeah, it's just kind of like how they are in a way. They're open to everything.
Absolutely.
You know? Wow. Because even really, when you get down to it, even things that are bogus, they're not that bogus. They're not really that bogus. It's kind of all excellent, and you really get down to it.
That's the thing.
That's bogus. Yeah, but it's still kind of excellent.
That's what was great about them, now that I think about it, was you put them anywhere, they were game for anything.
Yeah.
That's
well, you used to say they treat everybody the same. They treat everybody, they're kind of nice to everybody, whether it's Napoleon or like the guy who sits next to him, the nerdy guy who sits next to him in history class. They don't care.
That's right.
Because they don't really know enough to care. But even if they did, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't care. And
yeah.
it was that kind
of
guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the original concept. There wasn't so much we want them to be involved in some fantasy world. It was let's put them against the greatest people who ever lived and have them treat these people like they're just the person that they see across the counter at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I remember being in my bedroom in Westwood, and we were talking about Bill and Ted, and for some reason we had the idea about Bill and Ted in different parts of history, because the idea was Bill and Ted, what if Bill and Ted were responsible for everything bad that ever happened?
Without even knowing it.
Without knowing it.
Yeah, they time travel around and cause the sinking of the Titanic.
That's right.
At the beginning of World War I, for some reason.
Somehow they got they
were like responsible for Archduke Ferdinand being
assassinated.
All right. Whoa.
And then they would be
bad.
That's right. And they had this friend named Rufus who had a van, and Rufus was a 27-year-old high school sophomore.
Right.
Whose van
28, I think.
He was 28?
He was 28.
I think I'm gonna have to go to the notes here.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
I got it here. I got it here.
All right, well I have the
He is 28 in Ed's handwriting.
He is?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It says here Rufus is 28. Oh. Yes. In the original movie, the original outline for the movie, Rufus, who was this 28-year-old high school sophomore, drove a van that just happened to go through time with no explanation. And Bill and Ted had to pass a history test.
Is that what it is, even in that outline? Or was Rufus already like the guy
no,
from the
in
future?
in
the note.
This is the first draft that we typed. So the basic order was this outline, which we wrote in Lake Tahoe in 3 days.
Yeah.
That script, which we wrote at Norm's coffee shop, and I think partially at Ship's coffee shop, in 4 days. Then this, which we split in half, because I can tell you've got my manual typewriter for the first half and your electric typewriter for the second half. So we divided that up and typed it up. But you're right, Rufus is from the future, but at the beginning the movie didn't start. This draft, it didn't start in the future. It just starts with Bill and Ted at school.
Yeah.
And then they don't know why Rufus has been in their life for a couple weeks. They don't know why Rufus has been in their life for a couple weeks. And
this is at the dance at the end. The history teacher, Mr. Davis, says, all right, you got your A, you passed. Now, how did you get all those actors to do your report? They're not actors, Mr. Davis. Okay. How did you get all those people? Seriously? They look at each other, Bill and Ted. Mr. Davis, we went back into history and got them.